What's going on, guys? Two is in a block in the garage, and it's time for an oil change. I've got a 2017 Chrysler Pacifica here with a smidge over 30,000 miles. That's right, 30,000 miles over 9 years. 3,333 miles per year. The oil change sticker is here, and the mileage is here. And it is time to change the oil on this van. Very nice one owner van. This is actually a replacement for the daily for my wife and family. Lord bless us with this really awesome deal on a great van that I am absolutely thankful for. Wife's thankful for too. Makes it really easy with the kids to get in and out easy. We honestly were not minivan fans at all and had been SUVs, and this came up, and it was one of those where my sister had gotten one, and we saw how easy it was for her kids getting in and out, and kind of thought about it, prayed about it, and this popped up within a month of us talking about it, and the timing was right, price was right, and here we are. So the odometer, 30,104 miles, and up here the window sticker, mileage, 30,133. Now, you're going to reach just underneath the driver's steering wheel, left-hand side, right below your headlight switch. Pull this lever, and pop your hood. Now, to get that hood up, you'll reach under the center of the hood, push the lever to the left, and lift up on the hood. You'll see a prop rod to your left that goes directly up here into the hood, just like so. Now your hood's up out of the way, and as you can see, this engine bay looks pretty clean because it doesn't have many miles on it. Yours may look a little dirtier, but that's okay. Your oil fill is located here. Your oil dipstick is located here. We'll go ahead and just check the oil since we're in here. And the oil level looks good. Clean the dipstick off just to show you guys again. Oil level looks in the operating range. We're going to go ahead and get this vehicle in the air, get underneath it, and get ready to remove the oil drain plug, drain the oil, and replace the oil filter. Now for this job, you're going to need a 13 millimeter socket and wrench, a 24 millimeter for removing the oil filter itself, a pick tool for removing the O-ring from the filter housing, and you probably want some gloves so you don't get oil all over your hands. Had comments before about wearing gloves so you don't get metal shavings in your hands. I got man hands, so if I'm not wearing gloves, that's why. You should probably wear gloves. Do as I say, not as I do. So I tell my kids all the time. Okay, I'm going to do so you do what I do also. Alright, you may have seen the previous video. I had this VVOR jack. I'm going to see about using this VVOR air jack to get the vehicle jacked up. See how this works. A little bit tight in the garage because lots of stuff is going on. I know you guys hear that all the time, and it's pretty much the truth. So, yeah. All right, so under the front passenger side of the vehicle, there's a little trap door right there, and you probably want to use a flat tip screwdriver or a quarter, something like that. Rotate it. Got a little identifier. It says lock and unlock up there. So just rotate that. And down opens the door. Now this door, see what we got it flipping forward here. Something's great. And inside that door, you'll see a drain plug. That's your oil drain plug right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jack up the driver's side of the vehicle so I can get all the oil to drain out. I got the passenger side up. If you use a set of ramps, then you can do it all at one time, or if you have the vehicle jacked up evenly. So let me go ahead and get in position, and then we'll get that drain plug out, which is 13 millimeter. We'll get the oil drained out. So underneath the vehicle, there's a little trap door. It has a little flat-headed fastener here. You turn it to the right or clockwise to unlock. It'll flip down. It has a hanger where it can actually hang here in the vehicle. I just pulled it out of the way for this video. That way you have a clear view of what's going on here. We take our 13 millimeter socket or wrench and come here right on the oil drain plug, turn it counterclockwise, And it seems like whoever put this drain plug on over torqued it, which is amazing. I can tell just about loosening it by hand. Oh, that was the dealership that did the oil change. That's funny. All right, so here's your drain plug. We got it broke loose. I have got my drain pan in position. It's right down here. Make sure you catch all your oil. Make sure you recycle your oil. I'm gonna go ahead and back this out and go ahead and get this oil drained. This is where you want to wear a glove, because you can get oil on your hand. It's not really healthy, so. And I should probably have a glove on. And I don't. There we go. Oh man, look at that nice new oil drain plug. That's so nice and shiny and clean and in good shape. We may replace that the next oil change, but yeah, that looks good. We're gonna let that drain out. While this is draining out, we're gonna go ahead and take care of the oil filter up top. So while that oil is draining down below, we're gonna take our 24mm socket, place it on top of the oil filter housing, which is right there, just behind your oil fill. I'm gonna turn this thing counterclockwise. There we go. And we will pull this oil filter up out of here. Just pull it straight up out of there. I just had this just in case it was dripping. I'll get you in here close so you can see. Now, that's the housing there, and it pretty much keeps all the oil contained, which is very nice. There's the oil filter. It actually looks really good. Really good, not nasty and black. So you'll grab your filter and the base of the housing and pull these apart like so. Try not to get oil everywhere. We'll wipe the housing out, go ahead and check this old filter, and then we'll replace this O-ring. It's not really necessary you wipe your filter housing out. If you do have a bunch of buildup or old oil, it's probably a good idea. This is not bad, of course. This vehicle just has 30,000 miles on it, but never hurts just to get loose contaminants out of the way. We're gonna take our pick tool and go right in here underneath this O-ring, just like so. Here we go. That O-ring off of there. I'll be using a Wix filter. This is the part number here. It's the PXL 1001 MP. Here's the filter. We'll just park that right there. And here is the O-ring. It's always a good idea to place a little bit of oil either in this channel or on the O-ring. That way it doesn't pinch as it goes in there to seal. It shouldn't pinch at all. Typically these housings are concentric, so that means one circle slides within the other. So we're gonna go ahead and just work this thing up on here. Like so. And I'll get just a little bit of oil just to wipe around there. There's plenty down in here. That oil is really clean. To the new oil containers, put a little bit of oil on there. Take our oil filter, place it into the housing, just like so. Got these concentric rings on the inside that line up. Very simple, just push it together. It should click. Once it clicks, you know you're in good shape because it'll sit in there and it won't fly back out. So it's got a little bit of the spring to it. As you can see that compression, but you'll have a very solid click when it goes up on there, and you want to make sure that it doesn't just fall back out of the housing. Now that you've got your oil filter inside the oil filter housing, let's go ahead and reinsert that back in the engine. A little bit tough to see here because you're going to be looking underneath this coolant hose right here. We're just going to take it, slide it right back down in there. Start clockwise by hand, and then we'll finish it off with the ratchet. Sure, you're wondering what all that beeping is. Setting on my digital torque wrench here. So we got 18 foot-pounds over 25 newton meters for this oil filter housing. Let's go ahead and get her set up here. All right, got her. So 18.2 is where it was at, which is about 25 newton meters. So there you go, 24.4. So 18 is 24.4, 18.2 is about 25, where we want to be at. Let's go down and take care of putting on the oil drain plug, and then we'll go ahead and refill the crankcase. The oil is done draining. Slide you guys up in there. Oh, it's dripping a little bit. Nice. Predominantly done draining. All right, let's go ahead and get our oil drain plug started by hand. There we go. Yes, you see I have gloves on. All right. Oil drain plug should drain in very easily by hand. Should not be any struggle. If there is a struggle, you've done something wrong. Now we're just going to go ahead with my digital torque wrench here. Get this thing torqued up where it needs to be at. This will be 20 foot-pounds. Go. That's it. Don't want to over torque these, because if you do, they can snap off or they can not come out. Either way, it's a bad day. Let's go ahead and fill up the crankcase. Now, Chrysler did a good job of placing a very large filler neck on this engine, which is great. You just turn this cap counterclockwise like so. Just a little over a quarter turn, comes right up out of there. Yummy. We're going to be using the recommended weight 0.20. And if you have any questions about that, you can always check the oil cap itself, or you can check the user manual. Either one of those will get you the information that you need. Now, Amsoil did do an oil study on 0.20 versus 5.20, 0.30 versus 5.30. And what they discovered is that zero weight oil is too thin for vehicles that sit in traffic all the time. So taxi service, et cetera, et cetera. They actually found that there is a 40% greater bearing wear. And I'll link that video at the top of the screen for you. Also put it in the description below. So it's very interesting that the engines that are workhorse engines really need no less than 5-weight oil based upon their study, which I thought was pretty cool. So if you are hoping to keep your vehicle for a long time, you may want to go up on your bottom number, because the 0-weight oil is great for performance, but for longevity, the jury's still out. And Amsoil is a trusted oil brand, racing, performance, all that kind of stuff. Should I get a big funnel? Should I not get a big? I better get a funnel. Good practice. Always use an oversized funnel. Make your life a lot easier. Use a premium oil, like the Silver Jug of, Mobil 1, Valvoline, whichever one you prefer. Capacity on this vehicle is 4.9 quarts or 5 quarts. Because they knew that it's the average American family, so Don't be crazy like GM with 6 quarts and 9 quarts and 11 quarts. And let's see, the other SUV that we had, its oil requirement was like 9.5 quarts, I think. It's something crazy. That was pretty wild. All right, I'll let the rest of that run in there. While it's doing that, we're going to drop the vehicle back down on the ground, and we'll get ready to go in and reset the oil light. All right, we've got the oil filled. Pull the funnel out. We're going to put the oil cap back on. Lock it in position. Go ahead and put this hood down. I mean, I know y'all want to check the oil level. It's fine. It's fine. I know. I mean, we just put 5 quarts in there, but it's always a good idea to double check. Dipstick. First time, of course, it's going to be reading high. Or maybe to read just right. Let's take a closer inspection. And upon further inspection, you can see that the oil level is right in operating range, right where it needs to be at. Now let's go ahead and reset this oil light. We'll go ahead and shut this hood here. Move your prop rod, tuck it down here in the lock position, use your hood down. Let's move inside. All right, so inside the vehicle. All right, so you're gonna press this button twice. That will get the vehicle in the accessory position. Use your navigation buttons here on your steering wheel. You see vehicle info up there at the very top, and then you can pan through the vehicle info using the left and right buttons, and it will get you over to your oil life, your oil temperature, oil pressure. Vehicle's off, so that is correct at 0, and the oil life says we're at 35%. And you're going to want to press the OK button and hold. And now you're at 100%. So our next oil change will be at about 36,000 miles. No, sorry, 35,000 miles. We're going to change this every 5,000 miles, which is pretty standard for any newer vehicle. Even my other vehicles with higher mileage, change it every 5,000 miles. So that should take care of it, and we'll be good to go. That's going to wrap it up for this video. My name's Erwin. This Thrills on a Block. We're giving back what time has taken away. We'll see you soon.